What happens when the ordinary, just slams headfirst into the extraordinary?
Hmm.
Well, in the case of young Harry Potter, it all starts with a cupboard under the stairs.
Right.
And a whole lot of unanswered questions, really.
Yeah.
So you're with us today for a deep dive into Harry's world.
Okay. Okay.
Just before his 11th birthday. And trust me, it's anything but ordinary.
It's fascinating.
Oh, yeah.
How the story starts like in such a mundane, almost stifling setting,
Right.
Harry's life with the Dursleys.
Oh, yeah.
It's the epitome of keeping up appearances, but like under the surface,
Yeah.
there's this current of unease, like waiting for a storm to break.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like those perfectly manicured lawns that you see.
Right.
In those, suburban neighborhoods.
Yeah, yeah.
Hiding all sorts of secrets beneath the surface.
Exactly.
And speaking of secrets, poor Harry's stuck living in a cupboard.
Oh, yeah.
Gets bullied relentlessly by his cousin Dudley.
Of course.
And is treated more like, a pesky houseplant than a family member.
The Dursleys
Yeah.
are a perfect example of how fear of the unknown
Right.
can make people cling even tighter to the familiar.
Oh, yeah.
They're terrified of anything that might disrupt their carefully constructed world.
Yeah.
And Harry, with his connection to something different,
Yeah.
represents a threat to that illusion of normalcy.
It's like they're trying to fit a square peg into a round hole.
Yeah.
And getting increasingly frustrated that it just doesn't work.
Absolutely.
But then comes the letter. The first crack in their perfectly controlled facade.
Oh, yeah. The letter.
I mean, picture this.
Okay.
A thick, heavy envelope arrives.
Yeah.
The kind that feels like aged leather in your hand.
Hmm.
Addressed in emerald green ink. Sealed with purple wax.
Wow.
And has a coat of arms on it. This is not your average birthday card.
No, no.
Yeah.
And that address,
Yeah.
not just to Harry, but specifically to Harry, the cupboard under the stairs,
Yeah.
it's like the letter itself is acknowledging the absurdity of Harry's situation, giving him an identity that the Dursleys have tried to deny him.
Their reaction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pure panic.
Oh, yeah.
It's almost comical how they try to hide the letter.
Right?
As if ignoring it will make it just go away.
Yeah.
You'd think they'd be at least a little bit curious, wouldn't you?
You think so? But there's a powerful message there about denial, wouldn't you say?
Hmm.
The Dursleys are so determined to maintain their version of reality
Right.
that they refuse to even acknowledge the possibility of something beyond it. They'd rather bury their heads in the sand than face the truth.
And they take that denial to some pretty ridiculous lengths.
Oh, yeah.
They move Harry to Dudley's second bedroom,
Okay.
board up the mail slot,
Right.
and even try to escape the letters by taking him on a wild goose chase,
What?
ending up in a rundown shack on a remote island during a storm.
It's like watching a cartoon.
Oh, really?
Their attempts to outrun the inevitable just get more and more absurd.
Yep.
And you have to wonder, what are they so afraid of?
Right.
What's so terrifying about a few letters?
It's clear they're not just, like birthday cards from some distant relative.
No, definitely not.
Right. There's a sense of something bigger at play.
Yes. Yeah.
Something the Dursleys are desperately trying to keep hidden. And amidst all this chaos, it happens to be Harry's 11th birthday.
What a poignant detail.
Oh, is it?
Right. Here's Harry, stuck in this leaky shack with relatives who would rather pretend he didn't exist.
Yeah.
But despite the Dursleys' best efforts to squash any sense of specialness, there's a spark in Harry
Oh, yeah.
that refuses to be extinguished.
He's resilient, isn't he?
He is.
Even after years of neglect and mistreatment, there's a part of him that's still holding on to hope.
Yeah.
A sense that something more is out there waiting for him.
And that hope is fueled by those letters.
Oh.
They're a symbol of everything the Dursleys fear and everything Harry is yearning for. They represent a break from the mundane, a connection to something extraordinary, a possibility of escape from his dreary existence.
And they just keep coming.
They do.
No matter what the Dursleys do, the letters find a way.
They always find a way.
It's like magic itself is determined to reach Harry,
Yes.
to break through the walls they've built around him.
The letters are a catalyst for change, a disruption of the status quo. They're the first whispers of magic seeping into Harry's life, and the Dursleys are powerless to stop it.
Wow. It's like watching someone try to hold back a flood
Oh, right.
with a single sandbag,
Yeah.
It's just not going to work.
It's not.
But speaking of things not working, remember, it's Harry's 11th birthday.
Oh, that's right.
And how do the Dursleys choose to celebrate? by holing up in this dilapidated shack,
Right.
ignoring him as usual.
But here's the interesting thing. Amidst, the howling wind and the crashing waves,
Yeah.
there's this palpable sense of anticipation.
Really?
Like a feeling that something magical is about to burst forth.
Huh.
It's as if the storm itself
Yeah.
is a reflection of the turmoil brewing both inside the shack and within Harry himself.
It's like that moment of stillness just before a firework explodes.
Right.
A pregnant pause before everything changes.
Exactly.
When I first read this, I was practically holding my breath,
Oh, really?
waiting to see what would happen next.
And the way the scene is described, it's so vivid.
Oh, yeah.
The darkness pressing in on the shack, the rain lashing against the windows, the wind whistling through the cracks.
Right.
You can practically feel the tension building.
It's brilliant how the author uses these sensory details to create such a powerful atmosphere.
It is.
You can almost smell the salt air.
Yeah.
And the damp wood, hear the Dursleys grumbling and Dudley snoring.
And then, in the midst of all of this, there's a knock at the door.
Wow.
Just a simple knock.
Yeah.
But it sends shivers down your spine. Oh, really?
It's like the universe itself is saying,
Okay,
Dursleys, the game is up. You can't hide from this anymore.
I love how even the simplest things can be so powerful.
I know, right.
In the story, a letter, a knock, a whisper.
Right.
They all carry so much weight.
Yes.
So much meaning.
And the timing, of course, is impeccable.
Impeccable.
Harry's 11th birthday.
Right.
The storm raging outside.
Yeah.
The Dursleys at their wits' end.
Right, right.
It's the perfect setup for a dramatic turning point.
It's like all the forces of fate have conspired to bring Harry to this moment, to this crossroads.
Exactly.
And we, the readers,
are
right there with him.
On the edge of our seats.
On the edge of our seat.
Waiting to see what lies on the other side of that door.
Such a brilliant cliffhanger.
It is.
The excerpt ends with that single chilling line.
Yeah.
Someone was outside, knocking to come in.
Yeah,
Leaves you breathless,
Yeah. Desperate to know who that someone is.
Of course.
And what they want with Harry.
It's almost cruel, isn't it?
It is.
To leave us hanging like that.
I know, right?
But at the same time, it's so effective.
Yeah.
Makes you want to keep reading, to unravel the mystery.
Right.
To see how the seemingly ordinary boy's life is about to be turned upside down.
And think about it from Harry's perspective.
Okay.
He spent his entire life being ignored, neglected, treated like an inconvenience.
Yeah.
And then suddenly, in the midst of this storm, someone seeks him out.
Someone knows he's there.
Someone knows he's there.
Someone is knocking on his door.
It's a moment of validation, isn't it?
It is.
It's like a beacon of hope.
Yes.
Shining through the darkness.
A beacon of hope.
Even if Harry doesn't fully understand what's happening.
Yeah.
He must sense that something extraordinary is about to unfold.
It's a powerful reminder.
Yeah.
That even in the most ordinary of lives, magic can find a way, and that sometimes the most unexpected events can lead us to our true destiny.
Gives me chills just thinking about it.
Yeah.
That knock on the door, it's like the starting pistol.
It is.
For Harry's real journey.
Absolutely.
The Dursleys have tried so desperately.
I know.
To keep magic at bay.
They have.
Keep Harry trapped in their mundane world.
Right.
But it's all about to come crashing down.
The arrival of that mysterious visitor on Harry's 11th birthday, no less, is such a turning point. It's like the universe is saying, enough is enough. It's time for Harry to step into his own story.
It's like those fairy tales, where like the humble shepherd boy discovers he's actually a prince.
Yes.
Harry's been living in this like metaphorical dungeon.
Yes.
And suddenly the door is swinging open, revealing a whole world of possibilities.
My lord.
And let's not forget those letters. They're more than just invitations.
Right.
They're symbols of everything Harry has been denied.
They are.
Like recognition.
Right.
Acceptance. A connection to something. Like bigger than himself.
It makes you wonder, what if the Dursleys had just handed over the first letter?
Oh, yeah.
Would things have unfolded differently?
That's a fascinating question.
But honestly, I think those letters and everything they represent were destined to find Harry one way or another.
Right.
The Dursleys' attempts to block them
Yeah.
only made the eventual confrontation more dramatic.
It's like trying to stop a river from flowing to the sea.
Exactly.
It's simply not going to happen.
It's not.
But looking back on everything we've discussed,
Yeah.
it's clear that this excerpt is about so much more
It is.
than just a boy
Yeah.
getting some strange mail.
Absolutely.
Right.
It's a story about the power of hope
Yeah.
and resilience,
Uh-huh.
about the clash between the ordinary and the extraordinary.
Ordinary and the extraordinary.
It's about the fear of the unknown
Okay.
and the lengths people will go to
Uh-huh.
to maintain their illusions of control.
And it's a reminder
Yes.
that there's magic hidden in the everyday,
Hidden magic.
waiting to be discovered if we're only brave enough
Brave enough.
to open our eyes and our hearts to it.
Now, I'd like to leave you with a thought.
Okay.
Imagine you're Harry.
Okay.
You're 11 years old.
Yeah.
You've spent your whole life feeling like an outsider.
Huh.
And suddenly, someone arrives at your doorstep,
Right.
bearing news that could change everything.
Wow.
How would you react?
Right.
What emotions would you feel?
That's a powerful image.
It is.
And it's something for all of us to consider.
It is.
Whether it's a literal knock on the door
Yeah.
or a metaphorical one.
Right.
You know, life is full of moments that challenge us.
Like a...
Moments that call us to
Yeah.
step outside our comfort zones.
Yes.
And embrace the unknown.
So the next time you encounter something unexpected,
Okay.
something that disrupts your routine or
Yeah.
challenges your beliefs,
Yeah.
ask yourself,
Yeah.
what if this is my invitation? What if this is my chance to discover something extraordinary?
What a great note to end on.
It is.
I think we've all learned a lot
I think so too.
from this deep dive into Harry's world.
We have.
And who knows? Maybe it's even inspired us
Yeah.
to seek out a little magic
A little magic.
in our own lives.
Like,